Hi guys, this is Jay from the 0161, and tonight we're joined by another Unearth the Band, one that I think we sorted out with Liam. It is the mighty King Abyss. How you doing, guys? You okay?
Hey,
right,
good man. Good man to you.
Yeah, good boys. How's it all going anyway? Are we all coping?
Yes,
it's a bit weird.
Yeah,
Can't really do anything. And it's weird seeing everyone on a camera.
I know. It's not the same, is it? It's not the same as an actual gig, though, is it?
No, no chance.
Yeah. So, just to start us off, lads, just give us a bit of an history about King Abyss. How long you've been going, and who influenced you to start your band?
Oh, it's like, was it 2016 we started jamming, I think?
Yeah. So 5 months ago.
It started off with me and George originally. And then we just started, me and him got a couple of songs together, and then we just eventually found other members who were into similar stuff. And just started from there, really.
Yeah, because obviously everyone joined, apart from Dan. Dan's the new bassist, by the way. We haven't actually announced him as our bassist, so this is the best time to do it. So everybody, this is Dan. Everybody joined before me, and everyone wrote some music and stuff, and then I did a feature on This Is Hate song live, and then Sam was like, "Oh, do you want to come and jam with us?" So I just joined. Hadn't done anything for ages. I mean, I've been in bands like years before, like with Sam when we were at school and stuff like that. But other than that, not a lot for quite some time. But yeah, and then we played like our first shows in like the October of that year.
Well, just give us a bit of a who influenced you to pick up your like choice of instrument? I will start with Dom.
It's changed over time. I mean, when I first started being in bands, I was like, it was people like Winston McCall from Parkway and Mitch Looker from Suicide Silence and stuff like that. As time went on, obviously I stopped being in any bands. But then, as I started to join this band, I was more into like hardcore music. So
yeah,
definitely, and like crossover bands. So definitely, people like Riley Gale and stuff like that have been a massive influence on me, especially with this band.
And Sam?
I know you're going to hate this, but it was Metallica.
All right, okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's like what I grew up listening to. So like as soon as I turned like 13, 14, that was like what I wanted to do. I wanted to be Kirk Hammett, but I've ended up looking more like James Hetfield.
Jay, what about yourself, Jay?
Well, man, to be fair, it's like the complete opposite. Like he's into thrash stuff, like Sam is. To me, it was like Black Sabbath and like bands like Crowbar.
Yeah.
I Hate God, Pantera. Do you know what I mean? Like the slow groove stuff for me as a guitar player.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. But yeah, with Sam though, with the stuff he writes, it's got like the hook lines and everything. Do you know what I mean? You play fast, but you still got the groove.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I met him, I was like, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy.
And Dan, what about yourself?
So I mean, I've only recently sort of started playing bass. To be fair, when I when I joined these guys, because before that I was a guitar player. But I mean, the stuff that I was listening to kind of started off like classic rock and like more kind of grunge stuff, like stuff that wasn't actually as heavy as like what these guys play.
Yeah.
And And then I've start getting into my heavier music. I think it's like Gajir is a big one for me at the minute. Like when the Magma album came, that was like massive,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Damn.
that's my route. It's more like the classic stuff. To be fair,
Yeah.
it's almost like really, like Sabbath and that.
And George?
Well, we're probably going back to when I was at school. Like sort of gateway bands like Lamb of God, like Chris Adler, and then you got like Avenged Sevenfold and stuff like that. So the Rev. I mean, that's the sort of stuff that sort of gets you into the instruments. So I'd probably go for them.
Yeah. So obviously with all the the COVID stuff that's gone on, that have you had any like standout events, gigs or festivals that you've had cancelled that you really not really gutted about?
So obviously last year, we were going to go on tour towards the end of the year. That got cancelled. We never even got to announce it. We had quite a lot of shows lined up last year, which was pretty gutting. Because we had a good start to the year. Like we did a weekend with Beyond Design at the start of the year. We went to Edinburgh for the first time and stuff, and things were going well. And then obviously it all ended. Obviously, Altfest was cancelled, and that's always a good show for us. So that was pretty gutting. And then obviously because of COVID, we not because of COVID, but during the lockdown, we lost the bassist from the band. So we went, and then we found Dan, luckily, towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
sorry, mate, go on.
No, carry on.
No, I was just going to say, give us a bit of a a bit of a brief history about why you got with Unearthed, how long you've been with them, and what made you sign up to Unearthed.
Liam's one of my best mates, so there was that there. He's been to loads of our shows. Obviously, when he was in a band, we used to play shows with him all the time. Obviously, as the time went by, and he obviously stopped playing music and started going behind the scenes, he was like, "Oh, do you want us to represent you?" So obviously he started booking us some shows and stuff like that, and then we were just like, "Yeah, we'll take you up on that." And to be fair, he's done a really good job. Booked us on loads of shows, so
yeah,
it was kind of like a natural progression, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it wasn't like we just sort of jumped in and said, "Can you do this for us?" or whatever. It was all sort of it happened over quite an extended period of time.
Yeah. Well, I have noticed about Liam, because obviously we've dealt with him for quite a while. Put a few of the bands on, like Beyond Design, Hell Affected. But he seems to like really look after the bands as well. He's got all the bands' interests at heart. You know what I mean? He really does.
He's on his foot. He's on his foot. Liam is. He does a good job. He does a really, really good job. Can't knock him for that at all. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's got I noticed he's got like a really good passion as well for like the underground, which is obviously why we partnered up with him. So yeah, I mean the guy's buzzing. I like the guy. I think it's sound. Just about the obviously the COVID stuff and having gigs and festivals cancelled. Has this time given has it given you more time to come up with ideas, write new material?
Well, we're part way through recording an album anyway. Obviously, we've had to put a stop to that. Can't go to the studio. We can't practice. But I've been writing stuff for the next album at home as well. So like I've got plenty of songs lined up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also worked in the fact that obviously having to get a new bass player, we've had time to teach Dan the stuff without having gigs bothering us in the back. You know what I mean? So it's worked to some degree.
Yeah. Something that obviously we've done. I'm not sure if you've done them. But what's your guys' views on like the social distance events and the live streams? Are you guys all for it, or is it not something for you?
I mean, at first, obviously, I was a little bit apprehensive. We like to. I mean, especially myself, I like a lot of energy at my shows. I like to jump around. I like to, interact with the crowd a lot. All that sort of stuff. It's at first I was a bit like, oh, what are they going to be like? But obviously, as time went on, and you kind of realised that you can't play normal shows.
Yeah.
It's a sort of, well, I would rather play a socially distanced show than not play at all. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, for all of us, this is something we're very passionate about. I think if we just kind of said, no, we don't want to play these shows, well, we wouldn't be able to play in front of anyone. It'd just be a waste for not just us, but for people who want to see us as well.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Definitely something that I'd definitely be up for, and I'm sure everyone else would be as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, some of the bands we've asked in the past have turned it down because obviously, they rely on a crowd, and people to be there, people to start a pit. Just can't be doing with people sat down, or they can't perform for just a camera. So I guess it's each to their own. And as a band, it's like some people are up for it, like you guys are. Some people just like I said, need the crowd.
Yeah, I can understand that. To be honest, I can understand that. But when you're looking at it, could be like this for a while. You're gonna have to take them opportunities, aren't you? If you want to play, you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just obviously, just to round it up, you guys releasing anything? Have you just released anything, or have you got anything that's going to be coming out soon?
So hopefully we can finish. Obviously, we're in the process of recording an album at the moment. Everything's written for it. Hopefully, we can get that recorded as soon as possible. Really, finish recording. I think in kind of time perspective from that, if we can get that recorded before, summertime, hopefully it'll be out before the end of the year. Or at least some of the music from that album, because obviously we released our last single, which is from this album, like 2 years ago nearly, and it was, the album was supposed to be out by now, but with multiple delays on stuff, it's just made things a lot harder.
Yeah.
But hopefully, like we can get that ready and out before the end of the year. I mean, I know at times it looks a bit bleak, but
yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again for sitting down with us. Really appreciate it. Thank you to Liam and Big Up Unearthed. And hopefully, guys, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, cheers, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
See you later, boys.
Bye.
You resist what you know.